The Fool and the Golden Goose. Part 1. Once upon a time there was a man with 3 sons, the youngest of whom was called the Fool. He was often ridiculed and ignored by everyone, no matter what happened. One day, the eldest son wanted to go into the forest to chop wood. Before he left, his mother gave him a delicious egg pastry and a bottle of wine to take along, in case he got hungry or thirsty. As he entered the forest, he met a small old man with silver hair, who greeted him and said,
"Please, give me a piece of that cake and let me have a sip of wine. I am so hungry and thirsty."
If I give you my cake and wine, I will have nothing left for myself. You can go on your way.
The eldest son left the old man standing there and continued on his way. After chopping wood for a while, he accidentally slipped and hit his arm with the axe, causing him to return home to bandage it. The injury was the result of the old man's curse. Next, the second son decided to go to the forest. The mother gave him the same egg pastry and wine bottle. He also met the old man, who asked for some cake and wine. But the second son, sounding more reasonable, said,
If I give you my cake and wine, I will have none for myself. You can go on your way.
Like the first son, the second son left the old man behind, but soon after he made the same mistake and chopped his own foot with the axe, forcing him to return home. Finally, the fool asked his father,
"Father, please let me go to the forest to chop wood."
Your brothers have already been hurt doing this. You know nothing about chopping wood. Don't go.
I beg you, let me go, I insist.
If you want to go, then go. Only through failure and pain will you learn.
The mother gave him a baked potato wrapped in ash and a bottle of sour beer. As he entered the forest, the old man appeared again and asked,
"Please give me a piece of that cake and let me have a sip of wine. I am so hungry and thirsty."
I only have a baked potato and sour beer. If you're okay with that, please sit and eat with me.
The two sat down together. When the fool took out the baked potato, it magically turned into a delicious egg pastry, and the sour beer turned into fine wine. After eating, the old man said,
"Because you are kind and willing to share what little you have, I want to reward you. There's an ancient tree over there. If you chop it down, you will find something in its roots."
The old man then bid him farewell. The fool went to chop the tree, and when it fell, he found a golden goose in the roots.
This must be a gift from the old man. A golden goose.
He picked up the goose and carried it to an inn to sleep for the night. The innkeeper had 3 daughters. When they saw the goose, they wondered what kind of bird it was and wanted to pluck a golden feather from it.
I'll find a way to pluck a feather from it.
As the fool went outside, the eldest daughter grabbed the goose's wing, but as soon as she touched it, her hand got stuck to it, and she couldn't pull it away. Soon after, the second daughter tried to pluck a feather, but as soon as she touched her sister, she got stuck to her as well. Finally, the youngest daughter approached, wanting to pluck a feather. But as she touched her two sisters, she too got stuck. The three daughters ended up spending the night with the goose, all stuck together. The next morning, the fool picked up the goose and left, not noticing the three girls stuck to it. They had no choice but to follow him wherever he went, to the left or the right. The priest saw them walking through the fields and said,
Aren't you ashamed, girls? Why are you following a man like this in broad daylight?
The priest grabbed the youngest daughter's hand, intending to pull her away, but as soon as he touched her, he got stuck too. Now he had no choice but to follow the fool and the stuck girls. Soon, the church sacristan arrived and saw the priest and the three girls following the fool. Surprised, he said,
Goodness, where are you rushing off to, Father? Don't you remember you have to baptize a child today?
The sacristan grabbed the priest's sleeve, but as soon as he touched it, he too got stuck. As they continued walking, two farmers with hoes came along. The priest called out to them, asking for help, but when they touched the sacristan, they too got stuck. Now the whole group of 7 people had no choice but to follow the fool and the golden goose. What will happen next? Where will this strange procession go? And what will the fool do to end this bizarre journey? We will find out in the next episode.